request is, I know there's two different Megatrons, but any chance you would do Megatron's choice, you know, he gives Overlord the choice in your Megatron impression is the request. Because it'll just sound awesome.
What? Yeah, okay.
I'll give you a choice. Choice number one, you do as I say. Number two, you don't. And by the way, with number two, I hunt you down to your one for fun. Your choice.
I will give you two options. Option one, you do as I say. Option two, you don't. Oh, and by the way, with option two, I hunt you down and rip you apart with my lips. Yes.
And
very strange.
And my question, however, is like obviously with Pyro being recolor Optimus Prime and stuff, I just wondered, was that always in the script, like for maybe that version of it, like all those sort of in-jokes?
Yeah,
stuff, like,
yeah, it was. I've got the very first drawing I did of Pyro in my sketchbook. I've got a drawing of him, and it's got him saying, "What would Optimus Prime do?" And that's kind of his character.
That's his credo, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, it would have been quite heavy-handed to have that phrase in the comic, but once they, you know, it was always in my mind that was Pyro's thing. Yeah, it's kind of, you know, the toy was so obviously a kind of a Prime, an Optimus Prime kind of archetype or stand-in or something like that. Then it seemed weird to have a big red guy with a face mask and kind of antennae and not go. He looks a bit like him, so why not kind of turn it into this Primus?
Yeah, and in the profiles, in Pyro's profile, we see that he's but one of many sad, unfortunate characters. You know, there's a cult of personality around Prime, as you'd expect, really. With, again, playing on that ROCHE thing, where you've got, if you like, several tiers of fame, and Prime's at the apex, really.
Yeah, and if you, even in our world, you see people kind of emulating celebrities. There's not much bigger celebrity than Optimus Prime, so it's, I mean, you know, people get their haircuts a certain way, or they get enhancements to look like people, and that's what Pyro, slowly by slowly, he's been sort of gearing up, and they're stocking up on the red car paint, and, you know, that's where he is today. Lying in pieces in Paris line.
Obviously there's a lot of favourite fan lines from Wreckers, ones that are going to be memorable for years to come, but the one big one I want to ask, and if there's any controversy behind this when it was scripted, issue 5, Springers use Spawn of a glitch.
I get to tell my swearing Transformer story now. Not with that, because I did, in Spotlight Cup, I had Springer called Prowl a Spawn of a glitch. And so it's kind of like Springer, in my head it's Springer's catchphrase now, you know, so it's kind of cool. But in issue 1 there's a character called Dipstick, who works on the Ike-Moore fuel depot, and he's screaming at the Wreckers for blowing the place up and being irresponsible. And he had the filthiest mouth in Transformers, and we were asked to change that. And he was, well, at one stage he called one of the Wreckers a clutch-munching piston licker. Slag Gobbler was there, man. Yeah, and they said that has to come out, and that was kind of unfortunate. But
some things you fight for, and some things you...
Yeah, exactly. We figured we could let that one go, but it's a real shame. And there's a line that you had that wasn't necessarily in... Did it go into submitted script, the Rotor Storm line? I don't think it did.
Oh yeah, that's right. When well, just shortly before he gets killed, actually, Rotor Storm being Rotor Storm, his opening line to Overlord was, "We hear you've got a bad case of penal dysfunction."
Penal colony, because it's a prison.
So,
this on?
Sorry. Yeah. Let's try that again, shall we?
Oh, that's not.
Jim Sorensen could have done that better.
Clutch muncher?
We found the level anyway.
I think so, yeah, exactly, yeah. So that's the only thing. So Spawn of a Glitch was okay, and I think only because it had been in cut before. I mean, at one stage they did say take it out, and I argued, well, we've used it before, so let's do it again. But that was always going to be Springer's last line, I guess, you know. So yeah.
It's just running all the way around.
First of all, I'd just like to say it was awesome to see a Master reference in Last Time the Records. The "Please attend carefully" line was great. I hope that was intentional. And secondly, are we likely to see more Overlord in future?
I hope so. I mean, he was deliberately left alive, as was Impactor, and yeah. Well, we've heard good things from IDW about Overlord. There's a
they definitely want to keep him on their radar and kind of keep him in the toy box, as it were. So whether it's us that gets to play with him again, I really hope it is. It's he's one of those characters, kind of like Cup, because I got the first person to write him in IDW, and I'm slightly kind of paternal towards him a little bit. And same with Overlord and Impactor now as well, I guess. I really hope that either James and or myself get to be the ones to revisit Overlord, because he's got lots of potential. I mean, apart from the obvious showdown with Megatron or whatever, which would be cool. But part of me thinks that maybe it'd be cool if it never happened as well, because that's still his ultimate tragedy, you know, sort of tragedy. But you know, but yeah, I mean, hopefully it'll be more from Overlord at some stage. But I don't know when though.
How long did it take you to bring Impactor back?
When the word Wreckers left Denton's mouth and stuff, you know, Impactor was forming on mine, so yeah, I mean, I was always going to try for it. I didn't expect to get it though. I mean, I'm just talking because I was kind of on board slightly before James or whatever, so I was kind of in charge of recruiting the Wreckers or whatnot. So, but it was really important that Impactor, he's useful, you know. He hasn't been there before. He is slightly expendable, or not even expendable. There's no toy of him coming out this year, as far as I know. But you know, so we can kind of imprint anything we want on that character and make him kind of as dark and as conflicted as we could, and hence that's why he did what he did. That's why he's the Autobot that went too far, you know. And the best thing about Impactor was, do you want to stick your finger in here? Okay. Well, it's the fact that come issue 5, page 22, he's still there, you know. So that's the best bit. The fact that we didn't kill Impactor. I'm glad that people expected us to do it, and I'm really happy we didn't. So yeah. Did anyone here not know who Impactor was? When they stick your hand up. Okay, that's good. That's good. And that's good. And did it matter to you at all? I mean, were you on board with it? Yeah, you kind of went. That's cool. Yeah, because that's what we hope. We didn't want to leave people behind with our obscure Marvel UK references. Like I said, hopefully anything you need to know Impactor was on the page, and hopefully you like them as much as we do now.
If you're going to do like a continuation, obviously, kind of Wreckers-esque story, continue on those kind of characters on the left, where would you kind of start with the story, or is that something you kind of want to do?
There's lots of ideas, and it's kind of hard to talk about them here because I can sort of say, yeah, I've got this idea, but we don't. There's still a chance that those ideas might end up going ahead, and I kind of wouldn't want to have the ideas out there. So, you know, say it's a Springer Spotlight or an Impactor one-shot gets relit. I kind of don't want to sort of spoil the story here, but there's definitely ideas for Impactor and Guzzle. I mean, that was why we sort of sent them off together anyway. I've got all the ideas in the world about Cup, and you know, Springer. I'm just really attached to those characters. Like I can kind of write them all day, to be honest. So yeah, lots of ideas. Just can't tell them what they are really.
There's lots of threads, and it'd be good also to weave those threads into the main storyline somehow, and have the Wreckers characters and what's left of them interact with the more mainstream characters too. Impactor in particular, it'd be good to see Impactor, you know, up against anybody as an enemy or fighting alongside anybody.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd be interesting. Optimus Prime and Impactor would deal with each other, you know. So would Prime know what he did, and you know, so yeah, interesting. Or even Prowl and Impactor face to face, you know. I mean, obviously, there's obviously a tension there. There always is with Prowl, but kind of interesting to see how they. I'd imagine Impactor would punch Prowl. That's kind of what most people do when they see him. So you know. As a kid.